old as the latest M. Night Shyamalan movie to arrive in the cinemas. You know, he kind of had the big splash when he began, and then he fell away. Then he had the resurgence, and he's kind of fallen away again. Old is a movie about a family on a holiday. There is a little bit of subtext there about the family unit breaking down, about there being some kind of health crisis in amongst them, and they're at this tropical paradise where everything is just so good. In fact, too good to be true, almost. And they're invited to go to a very secret beach that only they, you know, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, are invited to go and see. And when they get there, everything's kind of fun. It's nice, it's serene, it's quiet, but there is something strange going on. People are starting to age rather quickly. As we see them move through time rapidly. A half hour equals a year almost, and people are starting to age from the old that are there to the young that are starting to rapidly change. And as with most M. Night Shyamalan movies, a lot of this relies on a payoff at the end, whether you like it or not, and that feels kind of destructive of a movie. You know, it shouldn't really be about the cathartic nature of the finale, but more about the journey. Whereas here, it's all about the mystery. It's all about what's driving them forward, what is aging them. There's that constant question of what is going on, and will the payoff be good enough to redeem the rest of the movie. Taking away the ending of the movie, you're given this story, this horrible sequence of time flying by. And if you want to look into the rather simple allegories, it's about time just fading away right in front of your eyes as your children age rapidly, as things that you deemed important suddenly aren't, as you realise it's the connections and the people round about you that built your life up. Yes, it's on the surface and we know quite apparent what he's pointing to, and it doesn't make for interesting viewing. But what this opening story does have is some moments of horror, some moments of terror that are really exciting, atmospheric and shocking. There is a moment within a cave later on with one of the characters that is truly the stuff of nightmares, and this horror sequence things are really good within the movie. But there are very strange directorial touches within this one that are just odd, that make me wonder what he was thinking. Fragments of people's faces are what appears on the screen. You know, we don't get to see full images. It seems to be a zoomed close-up of a person, but only a fragment of their face. And I don't like that kind of directing where it's only given us partial information. There's also flashy touches that happen throughout the movie a couple of times that I don't think adds anything to the tale, but detracts a little bit from the story, because you start to notice the camera rather than the tale itself. One's where the camera moves all to either the left or the right, stops, and then comes back the way. This weird tracking shot that I never feel adds anything to the movie other than taking you out of it and letting you know that you're watching an actual movie that has been made, rather than being lost and invested within the tale itself. A lot of the compositions I just kept going back to. They would pop up on the screen and make me sit back going, this was the best, take that you had. This was the one that you went for. What are you trying to say with these fragmented images of people's faces? It just felt odd. And again, took me out of the movie. And then, of course, there is a Shyamalan cameo, because he has to put himself in the movies, that just, it makes me roll my eyes every time I see him. Just, you don't need to be in it. You don't need to have a talking part. Take a step back, direct the movie and create something fun. Now, the ending, which I will not spoil, I found to be a bit of a cop-out. They explain some things and they leave the rest of it mysterious, unanswered. Because, to be honest, how do you answer certain segments of this one? And the part that you do have to shoehorn in feels like a really broad swipe at a certain industry, so to speak, and it's not too thinly veiled, and it just doesn't make sense. We have in this one a couple of kids who are fairly young, age 6 and 9, 10 or 11 I think it is, and throughout the story they age rapidly. And the movie plays fast and loose with their mental state at certain times. You know, at 6, they're 6-year-old. When they're 15, they're still acting like a 6-year-old. And then when they jump a couple more years, they're acting like an adult who's in their 50s with a similar mentality to that. And it never quite sits right with me. It plays fast and loose with its own rules. Old was interesting. It's one of those movies that, you know, I've seen. I'm probably never going to watch it again. I didn't think it was terrible, but it didn't offer me a lot to really get behind. And the further distance I've had from the movie, the more cracks I've seen starting to appear within it. It's fine. That's about it. It does get old quick though. Let me know your thoughts on the movie in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.